And good to have you with us here on this Friday edition of Ed Schultz News and Commentary. I invite you to stay on this website, wegoted.com, and watch the 7-minute production that we have on what happens when there's a bad trade deal. A lot of people have accessed this video that we produced out of Lorain, Ohio, because of the steel industry and the way the dumping of steel has cost the idling of plants across America, and middle-class families are now getting in the unemployment line. Fact of the matter is that the Trans-Pacific Partnership, if we do this deal, the manufacturing sector is going to get hammered. And there's no doubt that the president seems to be, where he has months to sell this to Congress and to the American people, where only half the country knows about this or even begins to dig into the details. The president is now saying, going from it's a great deal to it's the best possible deal. I see his verbiage changing on this. He knows the opposition is there. This deal can be stopped. There's going to be a 90-day period, and then, of course, the Congress is going to take it up. And in that time, there's going to be a big education process going on. Scott Paul joins us. He's the president, Alliance for American Manufacturing. Scott, good to have you with us.
Ed, great to be with you today.
What's the conversation going to be like in the coming months to stop this deal, to educate the folks?
Well, it's an interesting dynamic already, and you can't ignore the national politics and what's going on in the presidential race and how that figures in to things, along with the race for Speaker of the House and Republicans and a number of the Tea Party types who were skeptical of giving the president any sort of authority as well. And so that plays in. But on the substance, I think there's some important issues. And the president and his team have the luxury of being able to out there saying the deal does this, the deal does that. And we don't have the text. We don't know what it actually does. And we probably won't know for a couple more weeks. But what I think we do know is that, as you pointed out, manufacturing is going to take a hit. In fact, the only kind of comprehensive economic study that's been done of the possible impact of the TPP, and it was done by pro-free trade economists, shows that services would win big, but heavy manufacturing, light manufacturing, auto manufacturing would get hammered with more imports. In fact, it would be a huge imbalance, and that would be a problem.
No doubt. In fact, our trade deficit skyrocketing after every one of these trade deals. The fact is the service industry doesn't pay as well as the manufacturing sector. So we would have reduced quality of jobs in this country, no question about it. All right, now, the politics of this, as you mentioned, with this battle with the Speaker of the House, the Tea Partiers don't want the Trans-Pacific Partnership because of the sovereignty issues and undercutting and circumventing American law. They also are concerned about jobs as well. 28 Democrats voted for Fast Track, which would rubber stamp the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Now that Hillary Clinton has stepped out with some, I would say, serious reservations, does that change the landscape? Does this presidential race spotlight it in a different way? Well,
it's interesting because I think that it certainly would have been one of the key issues in the CNN debate in Las Vegas on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday night, because there was a big difference between Senator Sanders, Secretary Clinton, and Governor O'Malley on this. Now she's going to be in the position of having to defend her various positions on this. Spoke out for it as Secretary of State. She obviously did not negotiate it, Ed, and I think that's a point that people should know. That USTR negotiated and all of that. She pointed out, and we agree with this, and we agree with Senator Sanders and Governor O'Malley on this. Currency is a big issue, and it was not addressed, and that's something that even bleeds over into the Republican side. I mean, Lindsey Graham has that concern. Donald Trump has that concern among others. So it's out there, and I think it will color the presidential debate now in a major way. And look, Donald Trump's going to come out with a policy platform that's going to include a lot of stuff on trade, and I think it's going to, I think that's red meat for a lot of people who have serious concerns about the direction our economy is going and what's happened to the middle class. So I think it behooves the Democratic candidates like Secretary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, Governor O'Malley, to talk directly to these issues and to do it in a way that's reflective of progressive values as well.
The highest polling people in this country, both sides of the aisle, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, they're all against the Trans-Pacific Partnership now. I mean, that should be a message to the American people that there's three people that, if you were betting in Vegas, one of those is probably going to be president of the United States, unless somebody pulls a rabbit out of the hat politically that we haven't seen before. So they're against it. And I think that changes the conversation because this is bigger than any sitting president. And this is about our economy. Now, I want to fast forward to the end of 2016, no matter who's president. There is a provision with China that's going to expire in a trade deal that deals with their acceptance into the World Trade Organization that is going to hit our economy. And I'd like you to take a minute to explain that to us.
It's a big deal, and boy, is it an acronym and going to sound esoteric, but it'll have a dramatic impact on our manufacturing sector. So when China became a part of the World Trade Organization in 2000, one of the deals that was made is that it would be treated as a non-market economy because it is. It's not a market economy. It's run by Beijing until the end of 2016. That means that if there was dumping into our market, and Ed, you've covered this in great detail in that story in Lorain, Ohio, that we can put higher tariffs on Chinese products. Now, if China is considered a market economy, in name only, but a market economy, we can't put nearly that level of tariffs on dumped Chinese products coming in. And that means that we will see a huge flood of Chinese imports coming into our market. At the same time, potentially a TPP could be coming to an effect. And I'm really concerned about the impact. But this is just a smell test, too. Does China look like a market economy? No, it's completely run by the state, the steel companies, the aluminum companies, everything. It's run by the state. It's not a market economy, even though President Xi, when he came to Washington, said, you should treat us like a market economy. We deserve that respect. No. The facts don't bear that out, Ed.
No, they don't.
And they're going to have a devastating impact.
They're going to be dumping $1 billion into their state-sponsored automobile parts manufacturing sector, which is going to undercut jobs in this country. I don't care if you're left, right, blue, green, center. That's a fact. They are subsidizing the auto parts industry, and if the Trans-Pacific Partnership goes through, we are going to see the gutting of jobs in the Rust Belt in this country if we have one left. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin. There you have it. Scott Paul, great to visit. Always. We'll do it again.
Ed, thanks so much.
You bet. Scott Paul, President, Alliance for American Manufacturing.